up, everybody? It's your boy Keefe. I am back once again. Oh man, it has been a week, everybody. It has been a week, but I'm back with another weekly ritual rock and metal news live show everywhere all over the web. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram. I'm hanging out on TikTok, getting ready for the holiday weekend. Hobo Wizard Band is here. What's up, Hobo Wizard Band? Big fan. Am I convicted melon? Liquid Death. We're going to do the damn thing. We're going to talk all about the drama, so much drama in the LBC this week in rock and metal. Rubber Band Man is back. What's up, what's up, what's up? We're going to do this quick and dirty, kind of an abridged version of the show for an abridged week of work and everything else. And Polish is here. This is your show, too. Feel free to drop comments. If this is your first time here, please like and subscribe. We are a small business, and we get by on some advertising money, but mostly ads and generosity. So feel free to drop a tip. I'll drop the tip menu in a little bit. And, yeah, what a crazy week it has been. We're going to talk about all the things. The big Cradle of Filth news that just dropped. Arch Enemy, Vitriol. Jesus, cheese and rice. OMG, what a week it has been. Just could not have a quiet week going into the holiday. It had to be insanity. If this was a typical Wednesday, I might have jumped on and just did a live stream about the crazy Cradle of Filth stuff. But just, this is the schedule I'm keeping this week, as I've been telling y'all. Last live stream of the week. Let's do this. And again, thanks for being here for those watching. We always start with the announcements, and there's no easy way around. This has been a hard week for me for a variety of reasons. We're also giving away tickets to see God Forbid in Brooklyn, but I lost a good friend this week, Jerry John Nickel. We used to shoot concerts together back 10 years ago when I lived in Boston. Just a wonderful guy, young guy. I don't have all the details of his passing. Loved around the world, one of the most talented concert photographers. If you definitely have been following metal and metalcore and deathcore the last 15, 20 years, or seen some of his photography from around the world, you should consider yourself fortunate. If you ever met him in person, you would love this guy. And I'm just so sad that he's gone. He was a big community guy in the ski and snowboard community. He used to teach at Big Bear. And it's just brutal. It's just brutal. We just keep losing people. Some other losses this week. Viola Ford Fletcher. You may not know that name. She was the oldest and last surviving member of the Tulsa Race Massacre. If you don't know what that is, when Black Wall Street was bombed by racists in the 1920s, not that long ago, 100 years ago, most people are not taught this in school. She was the oldest survivor of that massacre. She just passed away this week at 111. Her grandson broke the news. She's got a book out there I really need to go pick up, and I would like to read because, we're doomed to repeat history if we don't remember it. Oh, also Jimmy Cliff. I know people, Bob Marley and the Wailers and a few others are synonymous with reggae, but Jimmy Cliff was really the first Jamaican artist to promote reggae music around the world. He influenced both Bob Marley as well as all the ska, two-tone, and ska punk of both Britain in the 70s and punk in Europe and America to follow. Incredible guy. The Harder They Come is the movie about him. You should go see it. It still holds up. I saw it a few years back. Just a tough one. He was 81. I didn't really run through the birthdays this week, but would have celebrated a birthday this week. It was Mark Lanigan. You probably know him from Screaming Trees, Mad Season, and Queens of the Stone Age, but Mark has had a humongous impact on me, and can arguably say I would not have if not for Mark, I might not have my current love of my life, Melissa. So lucky for me, we bonded over Mark. And yeah, it sucks. I was really hoping at the Hall of Fame, the Soundgarden guys would have shouted out Screaming Trees. They were close at one point. I think it's the Connor guys, the Connor brothers that people did not like. But, you know, I still love the band. Anyway. Yeah, so tips. If you guys are feeling tipsy, we are grateful. Here's our tip menu. The best way to tip us if you want to jump on YouTube and give us a super thanks or a super like. We are launching memberships finally in December. It's just taking me some time to get through it all. You can give us a tip here on the good old Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Ko-fi, whatever you want. We are grateful. And there's all your tips. Hey, cool. Facebook cooperated for a change and did not fuck with me. All right. Anyway, here's our Cash App if you feel like dropping a tip. Time for some features. Features here at Ghost Cult this week include, once again, our God Forbid ticket giveaway. Link in the bio, link in the description, link in the link tree. Black Friday. I know commercialism kind of sucks, but you know, let's face it, if you're a music fan, chances are you're a collector of things, items, stuff. And honestly, I know it's been a tough year, so surely I'm not trying to hawk anything, but if you're buying gifts for people, if you celebrate the holidays, hey, Gabe is here. Hi, Gabe, Anti-Moz Beast, what up, sir? Just talking about our announcements. You just started the show a few minutes ago. It's Black Friday this Friday. You know, your every band, every label, every store related to music or metal music or rock music culture has a sale. I've organized everything for you. It's one of the pinned posts at our website now. You can check it out. Some of those things are affiliate links that kick back to us. That would be cool. But mostly in general, we're just trying to support bands and small businesses. And if you find it all gross, and if you're vegan and you don't eat turkey and you don't care about Thanksgiving because it's linked to terrible American history, I respect that. That's cool. Take a few days and reflect and take care of yourself and think about the year. That's what I like to do. I like the idea of gratitude at the end of the year, whether it's this holiday or not. I just like thinking about what I have versus what I don't have. I'm trying to find the joy every day. Some of this is me finding the joy right here with all of y'all. That's what I do. That's what I respect. Yo, man, Zoltar band loves Mark. Amusement PDX, what's up? What's up? Zoltar, great to see you again. It's been a minute. Thanks for everybody who's here and watching. I know it's a weird time. We'll get back to the regular schedule next week. Also, this Friday is Record Store Day, Black Friday. I did a huge breakdown and an unboxing of video of albums that I was sent early. Some were pretty cool. Some are fun. Whether you like these bands or not, it's really cool to work with labels like Craft Recordings, who does a great job on reissues and stuff. Vicious 006 is here, or 006. So yeah, we did a Black Friday breakdown. I unboxed some vinyl, and then I did what basically amounts to my pull list in order of priority for me and perhaps of interest to you. So you should check that out. Rock, metal, and punk, and a few other things like soundtracks and stuff. Also, if you caught our live streams every Monday the last 8 weeks, we have been hanging out and talking about the Mojave Experience Festival coming this March for the first time ever to Joshua Tree, March 20th and 21st. I'm really excited. I've been really happy to be part of this. I am going to this festival. I'm going to have a baller time. Also, new interviews on the channel this week include my interview with Billy Graziadei of Biohazard, Brooklyn in the House. This is a guy I've been following since I'm 15 years old. He's just a few years older than me. I love Biohazard. New album, Divided We Fall, is out now. It is a banger, one of the best albums of the year in terms of hardcore, thrash, whatever, crossover. And just a really great interview where he talked about recording with Matt Hyde. Matt Hyde has done like Parkway Drive and Slayer records. So, and you know, all the guys in Biohazard know how to make a record and produce records for other people. So it's interesting to me that they went to another producer, and so much more to talk about that one. Also today, perhaps a lesser known artist, but one you should know about, Grid Failure is the multi-genre avant-garde extreme metal project of our friend Dave Brenner. It has a who's who of guests on it. We had a hella good time talking about this. We talked about maybe making some music someday when I get back to New York. Kurt calls shotgun. I didn't know Biohazard was still putting out stuff. They have reunited with their classic lineup: Evan Seinfeld, Danny Schuler, Bobby the Skull Hamble, and Billy Grazia Day. They are back. The new album is out now. Divided We Fall. It's out on Black to Black Records, which is a new imprint under the Frontiers SRL label from Europe. Megadeth's new album is coming out on that label. They put out some brand new bands also, but they started off with Biohazard and Megadeth. Pretty killer. Great album. I'm fucking totally here for it. We're going to talk about our album of the year stuff soon at Ghost Cult, and absolutely Biohazard's new record is factoring into my list. But Grid Failure, really cool, experimental, extreme metal. Check that out on the channel as well. Great interview with Dave. We also nerded out about vinyl, and you can see a whole stack of records behind me that I'm trying to file on my Discogs and fix up. Other recent interviews Ghost Cult has had include Soulfly, Testament, Paradise Lost, and so many more, and many more to come. We've got an interview next week with Trivium. Trivium's new EP is out. We'll talk about that next week, but I'm super stoked to get that love back from Trivium. And also Trivium, a former Album of the Year winner for Ghost Cult a couple of years ago. Also, because I don't have enough to do, I am the co-host of the Glacially Musical podcast, Beer Metal and Swearing, Vinyl, nerding about hockey and other things. We just finished the series on Alice in Chains. We did a whole vinyl unboxing of the new David Gilmour from Pink Floyd live box set. Now we're starting a new series on Queensryche. Go check us out. Ghost Cult has like 6,200 followers on YouTube. Glacially Musical has like 100. So if you want to do me a solid, in addition to following Ghost Cult, please give us a follow over there. Much obliged. Much obliged. Does sound exciting, right? I'm telling you. I'm trying, man. We're trying to do all the things. It's kind of exasperating and exhausting. All right, that's all the features and the announcements. Now it's time for the news rundown. Let's talk about it. We usually start with metal festivals, and that's where we're going to begin. Again, Eindhoven Metal Meeting is coming up soon. Here, I'll embiggen this. We'll take my face off for a minute on everything but TikTok. Eindhoven Metal Meeting, Hypocrisy, Triptychon, Gorgoroth, Terrorizer with a special set, Possessed, Batushka, whichever Batushka, this is the official one, Tribulation, Sinister, and many more. We are definitely covering this in Eindhoven in the Netherlands, where Ghost Cult started. Hey, Kurt, I'm glad it popped up in your feeds, man. And feel free to give us a follow. We'll follow you back. Patches Wolf is here. You know, we try to go and support everybody who supports us. Other things going on in the festivals. We cover Bloodstock Open Air every year. This year was headlined by Machine Head, Trivium, and Gojira. They're doing, for the first time, I think, ever, a winter festival, like a one-dayer in England. We are also covering this. Candlemass, Venom Inc., Hell Ripper, one of the best bands of this year, with a new album out. Raised by Owls, Torture Demon, King Kraken, Red Method, Thume, Hellbearer, and a meet and greet Q&A. So basically, mid-afternoon tea time for you Brits and Europeans, and then Candlemass and Venom Inc. and Hell Ripper. What a 1, 2, 3 at the end of the festival. And we're going to bring you coverage of that. I'm super stoked for our guy Bill Maudsley in the UK for coming out to cover this. And we're going to be covering more shows in Europe next year, more concerts, more festivals. We're growing our team there, and I'm really excited about it. Also announced this week, Vans Warped Tour just ended a couple of weeks ago, or last weekend. Now we've got the full announcement for 2026, Washington, Long Beach, and Orlando again, but now adding Montreal, Quebec, and Mexico City. I was pretty excited that Warped Tour came back. I had gone to a few Warped Tours, and I was the old guy at Warped Tour like 10, 15 years ago. It's not quite the same as it used to be, but I thought they did a really nice job promoting it, putting it out, doing all the things. Perhaps next year we will get to cover one. This year the dates did not line up. We could have covered. We were trying to cover at least one of them, and the dates didn't line up. So we'll see next year where I'm at. Probably not Mexico City, probably not Quebec, but maybe one of the main ones. Also coming up soon, Decibels, Metal, and Beer Fest Denver. And this happens every year, twice a year. Sometimes they do LA. Last year they did LA like 2 years ago. Acid Bath once again on the triumvirate comeback tour. Blood Incantation, I Hate God, Chat Pile, Dead Guy, The Red Chord playing all of Clients, holy cow. Primitive Man, Panopticon, one of my favorite black metal bands of all time. Conan, this is just incredible. If I didn't have other shit going on, I might go out to this, but I can't. Also announced for next summer, and we may be covering this, Arctangent Festival for the first time ever will have Primus as a headliner, as well as Chelsea Wolfe and Cult of Luna and Julie Christmas doing Mariner 10-year anniversary set. I saw one of the rare Mariner sets 10 years ago, and I saw their one show in New York. It was phenomenal. I have tried to interview Julie Christmas. She's typically very press shy. But this Arctangent Festival looks fucking unbelievable. Igor, Napalm Death, Seek, Perturbator, High on Fire, Agent Fresco, Conjurer, Alcest, Oathbreaker coming back and reunited. One of the final shows ever from Svalbard. Amplifier, Joe Quayle, Ghost Cult favorite. Psychonaut, great new album by them. So many more. Dark Her, Shearling, Clamp, Hall, so many great bands. Warped Tour in Jersey. Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. I think, they were testing the waters this year with the first three. Ronnie Doc is here. Bleak Kiss Music is here. Sermon of Flies is here. Good to see you again. Flintlock, Alex. Oathbreaker is back. Dude, we saw them way back in the day in New York City, and I got to interview Caro, in the West Village, or East Village, hanging out with her on the street, just person on the street interview with Caro. She's incredible. She does a lot of stuff with Amun-Ra, a lot of backing vocals basically on their albums. So I'm really excited. I hope this means Oathbreaker, new album, new headline tour in America. It would be fucking sick. Also announced for next spring in May, Northwest Terror Fest 2026 at Numos and Barboza in Seattle. Kailisa, maybe I'm finally going to get to see Kailisa come back. Oranzi Pazuzu in a rare U.S. show. Pig Destroyer, this looks nuts. Oh my God, Dead Guy also. Jesus, I need to go to this. I love Kailisa. Maybe a Kailisa series on the Glacially Musical podcast at some point. I know they're not that big. They're still kind of a cult band, but I would like to do it. Okay. What else? Aftershock Festival is probably going to announce their lineup right after New Year's, or their first headliners in December. Here's their early bird sales, just because it's Black Friday. All these festivals are probably having early bird ticket sales. But here's your timeline for the early bird for Aftershock. Capitol Club pre-sale, which is their VIP, is Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific. Attendee pre-sale Friday at 12 noon Pacific. Subscriber pre-sale Monday, December 1st, 12 noon Pacific. And the public on sale officially is Tuesday, December 2nd. I hope to make my return to Aftershock next year. Diabelita Hernandez, welcome. Thanks for being here. What else? This is fun. I'm not necessarily into EDM and electronic break music, but this looks really cool. Apocalypse Zombieland Dance Music Festival. Maybe some of you are into this. Elenium, Nero, Excision, and many more. I thought maybe Kings of the Rollers, which is an incredible name. That's taking place coming soon, next weekend. Maybe you will be into this. I don't know. Maybe not. Ripple Music's 15th anniversary party. I am confirmed to be going. We'll be covering this. I hope to interview Todd from Ripple Music, the founder, very soon. One of my favorite bands of all time, Fireball Ministry, is the headliner of this party with Zed and Black Wolf. I am stoked. Not to mention I can walk home from the show. I can't wait. Also, I got scared about this. Rotting Christ, this thing popped up from Maryland Death Fest. Rotting Christ, 1989 to 1995. I was like, what? Oh, what's going on with Rotting Christ? They just played a bunch of anniversary shows. No, they're doing a special set at Maryland Death Fest next spring, next summer, whatever, Labor Day weekend, Memorial Day weekend, sorry. Rotting Christ, only songs from 89 to 95. Okay, please don't scare me like that, man. Nero is legendary as fuck. Cool, good to know. Rotting Christ, killer band. We've reviewed them. We've covered them all over the world. And we covered their big Greek shows. They are a Greek black metal band, super anti-Christian. extremely blasphemous if you're into that shit. So yeah. All right. Maryland Death Fest. Looking forward to that. I might very well make it out to that. Inferno Festival. We told you those pre-sale tickets are on sale now. Mayhem, Deicide, Enslaved, Old Man's Child, The Covenant, Cannon Fever, Tormentor, Samael, The Hounds of Hell, When One Falls, Another Shall Rise. If you know your Hellboy movie and comic books, Primordial, Incantation, and many more. Also, Milwaukee Metal Fest had moved to June. We told you that last week. Now we have the first headliner is Acid Bath. And, I know you dig them, Gabe. Acid Bath. And now Iron Reagan is coming back. I think this is, Municipal Waste may be going on a hiatus, but Iron Reagan is making a comeback and they will appear at Milwaukee Metal Fest. Bryson Lamp wants to know Epiphone SG or Yamaha Pacifica. You know what, Bryson? I've always been an SG-shaped person, and my dream guitar, if I was to get another guitar at some point, would be like a maroon SG, i.e. Godfather, Iommi, and Pepper Keenan of Corrosion, Conformity, and Down. So, yeah, Pacifica, good guitars, though. No, I'm not mad at them. Again, thanks for watching these things. I appreciate everybody. Feel free to subscribe to us if you're new here. All right, that's all the festival news. Now let's do the concerts. Once again, God forbid, we're giving away tickets to this 3 shows to end the year for a massive comeback year for the band. God forbid, Darkest Hour, Bleeding Through Nora. And we are giving away tickets to the Brooklyn one. This flyer that looks like a Public Enemy album cover was done by my partner and co-owner, Omar Cordy. What should be my first guitar? I'm wanting a couple of different styles, SRV/Dimebag. Well, I'll tell you what, Bryson, I got to go with Tom Morello was like, you know what? Get a beater to do your first guitar. Don't, yes, it's awesome to have a great piece of gear. And when I was a young little shaver and trying to learn to play music and going to music school and killing my hands playing bass, I had some pretty good gear to start out with, but as I got better gear, I also feel like I made better music. I was more motivated. I was more into it. But honestly, you just need a basic ass beater guitar. Think about the style of music you want to make or play. If you're still figuring that out, cool. Certain types of body types and pickup alignments and types of guitars lend themselves to things like metal or blues a little bit differently. If you're going to be doing a lot of soloing, maybe you want to, think about how the guitar feels on your body. That's the number one thing. Go to like a Guitar Center and try out a bunch of guitars and wear them, and see how they feel and see how they fit you. Is that cool? I hope that's cool. Peppy is here. HSS, probably not a bad one. Mark Badger's back. What's up, Mark? Good to see you again. All right. More. Hell yeah. And maybe we've got some other guitar players in the comments who can... Kurt says, if it don't feel right, it won't sound right. Thank you, Kurt Calls Shotgun. I agree. Anybody else who has some guitar advice for our new friend here, Bryson, feel free to tell him. Amon Amarth, this is probably going to be one of the first biggest killer tours of the new year. Amon Amarth with special guests Orbit Culture and Soilwork. Fucking crazy that Soilwork is under Orbit Culture, but that tells you how big a band and how much a vibe Orbit Culture has going into 2026. This is a European tour. I wouldn't be surprised if this tour also comes to the States. They have similar management and, put the Swedes all together and see what they come up with. You know what I'm saying? Bella Kiss Music, thank you so much for following us. I appreciate it. That is a great tour, right? Like we covered Amon Amarth and Pantera this year in the States. So I feel like Amon Amarth is a bigger band in Europe. I do feel like they kind of peaked a little bit and they, would be interested to see when they finally get around to new music, what that looks like for them. But, let's see what they do. We'll see what they do with new music. I feel like they peaked a little while ago, but I have enjoyed the last few Amon Amarth albums, and I always enjoy them live. Orbit Culture is great. Soilwork is one of my favorite bands ever. Okay, Sepultura continues to announce their farewell dates for 2026, and they have announced their final European date ever. I believe it's an exclusive show in Dublin. Sepultura, Biohazard, Malevolent, Sacred Reich, one of my favorites as well, and Crypta. What a great show that's going to be. next summer. I know Sepultura is popping up on festivals, and we will probably see some farewell US shows again as well. I know, like Megadeth said, oh, we might play 3 or 5 more years. That's not quite a farewell tour. But anyway, Guns N' Roses, as I have been talking about and anticipating for a long time, Guns N' Roses has finally announced 2026 world tour dates. They had not booked the USA. Now they are. They're not coming to Northern California near me. They are playing the Rose Bowl for the first time in 20 years in LA. So that's a big deal. It was like a big drone light display yesterday announcing the tour. They're playing all over Europe. No openers announced yet, but they did just do all of Europe with Public Enemy. So that would be sick. Definitely, Rubber Band Man says, please definitely feel out guitars at Guitar Center and then buy a used one to play practice on. I agree. Save your ducats for the guitar the Wayne's World, oh, she must be mine. Pre CBS sale to Japan, file down the nut, and wait to get the best guitar you can afford or money can buy, and learn on a beater. I am a firm believer in it. Andy Mosby's, they need to write new songs Axl can't scream. Well, you know what? I understand he doesn't have the power, and especially the Back to the Beginning Gabe showed that Axl doesn't have the strength he used to have, but I've seen GNR twice in the last 10 years and once in the last 4 years, and I will tell you, he can hit all the notes. Maybe they set the bar a little too high. My main thing is, so Guns N' Roses is also supposed to drop 2 new songs next week, and I'm going to tell you that I'm curious if they're actually brand new songs that they've been talking about they did, or are these 2 more reworked demos we've heard already? Because GNR, I want new music now. So it'd be fun to see what they come up with, But anyway, we'll talk more about that next weekend. Megadeth has announced more dates. Canada, South America, Europe, America. Again, love this photo shot by former Ghost Cult photographer Rich Price. Goodwill. That's a good advice, Rubber Band Man. Shop at goodwill.com. Sometimes has great guitars for very little money. And sometimes you will just get a lucky deal at a good local guitar shop, and you want to shop small. As I said, I know we promoted Black Friday and Record Store Day Black Friday already, but please try to shop small if you can. Deftones have added even more dates in Europe to their tour. I'm pretty excited about this. Again, looking forward to seeing Deftones again. Private Music out now, wherever you buy and stream music. I love this record, one of my top records of the year. Queen of the Unicorns is also here. Faninia Garcia is here. Pani Love is here. I appreciate all of you. This has been a really fun show. I'm really glad you guys are killing it in the comments. Coroner has announced their first U.S. tour in forever. Dissonance Over the West. Special guest Heathen, one of my favorite bands. Dean Vendetta is a great cheap guitar to start with. Solid body, smooth neck, and good action. I'm still trying to interview Dean from Dean Guitars now that he's trying to get the copyright back for the Dimebag model. But good one, Kurt. Great advice. White Pony is in my top maybe 10 albums ever. I love that shit so much. I did Minerva at karaoke on Monday for the first time ever. That was a lot of fun. Again, here's Amon Amarth. Motley Crue, Tesla, and Extreme. I know Extreme just dropped a new music video that had me dying. They all went and played at their high school baseball fields for a music video. And the one where Gary Sharon is in Malden, Mass, right outside of Boston proper. It's within the city limits. And April Connor Rocks is here. What's up? And Extreme new music video out. Tesla, I've been hearing things that Jeff can't sing that well anymore. And we already know Motley Crue is all on tape. If you've never seen Motley Crue and you want to sing Home Sweet Home with 10,000 drunk ass people and Vince is terrible, go. If you have seen them, you don't need to see them ever again. I don't need to ever see them again. Ed, what up, brother? My brother from another mother, Ed Molina. White Pony is one of my favorite albums. I know, bro. We've had many times. We had a drunken, rouse-giving conversation about this. I think you, me, and Hiram were hitting the coquito too hard, or I know I was, because I can't not with that shit. And I don't drink rum on the regular. When I was drinking, I was beer and whiskey primarily, with some vodka in my younger days. But holy shit, I missed that Christmas coquito, man. I need to get blasted out west. It's hard. All right. Powerman 5000, 12 Stones, that's the band who is the guy singer on Evanescence's Bring Me to Life, and Makes My Blood Dance have booked a U.S. tour for this spring, kicking off in Fresno in late April and going all through the country and back again to Hollywood. Powerman 5000, still a thing in 2026. Wild. I saw them when they were kind of like a hippie rap rock group. Skullbasher's back. What's up, pal? Powerman 5000. Iron Maiden, again, continues to add some more dates to the Run for Your Life World Tour. We're getting a little bit of Anthrax on this tour and Megadeth as the main opener. Should be good for Megadeth to get the opening slot for Maiden. Ice Nine Kills, we told you about this last week. They're doing their Silver Scream Con in, when generations collide, exactly. Silver Scream Con is coming to the UK next week, as well as this brief Ice Nine Kills arena tour. This is their biggest tour ever, with Creeper and The Devil Wears Prada. Art from Terrifier will apparently be at the shows also. Kind of wild. We'll see if we can cover this. I don't know. Kind of a stretch. Sex Pistols featuring Frank Carter. You know they were supposed to tour the U.S. this year, and then Steve Jones broke his hand. So they rebooked a handful of dates in Europe. 50 Years of Punk, going to play all of Nevermind the Bollocks, Steve Jones, Paul Cook, and Glenn Matlock, featuring my homie and yours, Frank Carter from Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes, now on hiatus. We had one of their last interviews with them. I love that band. But the Stranglers, the Undertones, and Panic Shack opening. So like really, really pulling out the old school proto-punk and punk rock bands from the UK. And I believe we'll get an announcement of US tour dates at some point for next fall. Maybe they will play Riot Fest. That's what they were supposed to do. We were talking about this last week. Hellfest and Overcome Fest present Path of Resistance, Moral Law, Fading Signal, One by One, and End of Your Rope for your punchy hardcore. If you want to get donkey punched in the fucking throat in the pit, that's your show. Street Brutality Tour with Shattered Realm and Death Before Dishonor. Big old school Death Before Dishonor fan right here. Svalbard, I think these dates are just ending now or just ended. They have a handful of dates next year, and then they are wrapping it up. They do have a brand new song out. Midnight has announced the Satanic Royalty 15th Anniversary Latin America Tour, and this is going to take place next spring. Pretty exciting for Midnight. I just saw them. Great band. Machine Head has backtracked. They were doing these big package tours this last year and a half, and they finally relented and started headlining festivals. And they have announced an evening with Machine Head coming back for Europe next year and probably America. So we'll see who no opening band, just 3 hours of Machine Head. If you're a big Machine Head fan, this is for you. This is a killer photo shot by our own Pags, my homie. Do we cover CK Fest in LA? We should. We haven't yet, Kurt. If you're from the LA area, DM me and let me know the details. I think we were talking about it last year, and then, it's like kind of tough. My team from LA is kind of spread out. There's only like actual LA area people, just a couple of them, and then the rest of them are kind of regional. But we're trying to get more shows covered. We're trying. But once again, we're at the more than halfway point of the show. Please tip us when possible. We appreciate it. Hey, let me just talk about Fable Beard Company for a second. If you want to have a dope beard like me, you want to get hooked up from Fable Beard Company. They also have a femme brand called Fable Beauty, if that's what you're into, or someone who deserves a gift. High quality, all natural products. I have very mixed, blotchy skin. I'm very allergic to shit. Certain deodorants and soaps make me break out and give me a reaction. Fable Beard has been flawless. And they have an unscented variety, the Barkeep. All their scents, and they have characters. They're all based on like D&D characters. So the Barkeep, the Bard, the Wizard, the Hunter, the Trapper. It's insane. I love it so much. And I'm all into it. QB Bread Dip is here. What's up? Also, another affiliate partner of ours is Lamb Goat. When you see ads on our website, that's from the Lamb Goat Media Network. Lamb Goat has a bunch of other metal websites in their team. They're kind of the meaner ghost cult. I'm sure you know who they are. Don't go in the comments unless you're not of the faint of heart. And then also, if you're watching this anywhere but TikTok, you are watching this good old thing via StreamYard. If you want to stream like we do, check out the link in our description for a discount when you sign up. I'm on all the social things. We have a newsletter I try to put out every Friday or Saturday. Do all the things. Do all the things. We try, man. We try. All right. last licks. Let's get to the rest of the show. Now it's time for all the drama. Are you ready? Gird your loins. Kurt's from Texas, but I can definitely get you in touch with some people running it. Absolutely. Please do. DM me, Kurt, and I will check this when I'm off the air. All right. Cradle of Filth. This shit just hit right before I went live. 5 former members of Cradle of Filth are suing Danny Filth and the band and their management, Oracle Management. I will preface this by saying I just found this out right before we went live. I managed to get this old photo of them. You can see Zoe and Ashok in the photo in the middle. And just what a fucking mess. First off, I have had nothing but good interactions with Danny. We've got a long time mutual admiration society with Danny and Oracle Management, which is Des Fafara and his wife Anastasia. I have had nothing but respect for them and good relations and good contact with them. I've interviewed Danny. I've interviewed Des. I've met Anastasia and Des together talking about management stuff. Absolutely, never had a problem. But this is all different. This is like basically the short version of it. Oh, thanks so much, Riverman, man. I appreciate you. The short version is the former members of the band, which also includes Lindsay Schoolcraft, friend to Ghost Cult. She has joined the lawsuit of these other former members claiming they're owed royalties, recording royalties and dues, not paid for their likeness on merch designs and merch with their likenesses. And also Lindsay did graphic arts for the band for a long time, and she didn't get paid for any of that. So I don't know who's right or wrong. I'm going to deep dive more into this. Maybe I'll come back from the holiday and do a live stream on it. But also, holy shit. And lawsuits usually take some time to suss themselves out. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure, as of right this moment, I haven't seen a response from Danny or Des. I'm sure we will. Concert Crap is here. What's up, Concert Crap? Great to see you. Speaking of drama, Arch Enemy. We know that Elisa White-Goose quit Arch Enemy or left Arch Enemy this weekend. Very strange timing with the announcement on Sunday of all things. And then immediately she dropped a song, which is okay. It's pretty good. She's apparently been working on a solo album. If you haven't been following Arch Enemy, Elisa took over 12 years ago from Angela Gusseau, who took over whatever many years ago from Johan Leva. I know that some old school Arch Enemy fans that love death metal want Johan to come back. He has already said he is not coming back. I highly doubt Angela would be coming back, except for maybe a one-off or a brief anniversary tour. I know Arch Enemy has a lot of anniversaries coming up of their biggest albums, but also I just don't see Angela coming back. She's young enough. She's fit enough. I'm sure she could step right back in. Also, Michael and Chris Almont's father just passed away, and they apparently took it very badly and very hard. And so it's very possible they're going on a hiatus as a band anyway, and she just wanted to kind of get out there and get back to work. And she had this solo record she was working on. And probably no update about Arch Enemy for the time being in the near future. Just letting you know. But good luck to Elisa. Good luck to Arch Enemy. They parted ways 12 years. She certainly, I know that people didn't necessarily embrace her, but she certainly helped them get, further along in their career. I think they also have, like Amon Amarth, I think Arch Enemy kind of peaked. And I don't know what else they can do besides play the hits and make more of the same. But that's just me. They are one of the most talented bands ever in melodic death metal. Also, here's the drama for Vitriol. So here's the story. Vitriol has had a problem in the past where longtime co-founding members quit. Personality issues, other things, life on the road. Vitriol, young killer death metal band. We've covered them. We've interviewed them. Their main person and front person, Kyle Rasmussen, was on tour with new hired members of the band to complete touring responsibilities. They had been to Europe this year. They had a U.S. tour not too long ago where we covered them. And apparently they were all kind of partying a lot. This is their own account. They were partying a lot of nose candy, booger sugar, Bolivian marching powder. Do you want to build a snowman? All these things, Deadpool references. And there was a lot of verbal abuse and back and forth between the band and the hired guys. And the singer, his partner, who is not American, who's in the U.S. on a visa visiting, and their dog were left abandoned at a gas station in Vermont because he kept berating them, and they just jetted and left him. Holy shit. Then he gave his side of the story where he's like, I've never talked about these issues before. I definitely am accountable for some of the problem, but he gave a 40-minute video going bit by bit about what happened. The remaining guys who quit Vitriol are going to start a new band together, which is hella interesting. I hope Kyle gets his stuff sorted. I know it's really hard right now to tour. Maria Cesar Romero is here. Necrotic Gore Beast is here. Gomez 502. Hamza Khan. What a whole hot mess this has been. I don't know if you've been following this, but holy shit. This has been a fucking mess. But anyway, Vitriol tour canceled. And Kyle Rasmussen has to get new members at the very least. Or, maybe at this point, give up the band and start a new band with new people that you can relate to and work with. I am not always my best self. I am working on my emotional quotient and my levels of, what's appropriate and what's not as a manager and a business person and a friend and a lover and a boyfriend and a future son-in-law and all these things that I want to be better. I want to be my best self. Getting abandoned in Vermont in the middle of winter sucks. I don't know if you've ever been to Vermont. It's creepy scary. You think all the horror movies come from Maine and Massachusetts. Vermont terrifies me. It's too quiet. It's too fucking eerie and quiet. Love it. Beautiful. Great people. Ben and Jerry's. Dartmouth. But anyway, fuck. Just again, some more further news after Soundgarden got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Soundgarden has mostly completed the final album with Chris Cornell. I do believe we're going to hear about this in the first half of 2026 for a release. Who knows, again, if they would reunite to perform some of that music live or do a tribute concert, another tribute concert. The last one was pretty great. I like the performances at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But again, kind of difficult to see if they would come back or not without Chris. Kind of hard. Again, Slipknot, the conversation was happening last week that Slipknot sold their catalog for $120 million. And the chatter among the fans is who actually gets paid and who doesn't. And I engaged in some of that chatter and gave my opinion. Since 2003, Slipknot Inc. has been owned by Clown Corey and Corey Brennan of 5B Management. And everybody else in the band has been a hired gun with a salaried employee of Slipknot Inc. Now, if you were in the main writing groups of those albums, the debut, the second album, which was really the Slipknot we got to know best, Iowa, when Jim Root wrote a lot of stuff, Volume 3, the fourth record, 5, The Gray Chapter. If you wrote songs on those, you should theoretically get paid out for royalties. But I don't know if that gets you the rights to that album. So I don't know. The rights to that big payout. I just don't know. I just don't know. Okay. Moving along. Dogma continues. This is fucking the insanity of Dogma after their Australian tour was canceled because the tour promoter wanted the original Dogma, not the replacement Dogma, the scab Dogma. And no offense to anybody that's in the band now. They are trying to figure out what their shit is going forward, what that band looks like. But the fan community might be worse than the band situation. Like, I got to be honest. Like, okay, I understand that people have, don't build your whole personality. Listen, look, I'm a rock and metal person. I have had a whole career in music where I played in bands for 20 years, and I started a new band again this year on New Year's Day a year ago, and it's going kind of slow. But, don't make your whole personality a band. If you love Ghost, that's fucking awesome, but they're not everything. If you love thrash metal, be a thrash metal kid, but they're not the whole world. You know what I'm saying? So Dogma, their fans are we want the band, they're kicking out people in their groups and Reddits and public forums where people are just speaking out in support of whatever's going on with them. And people are like, no, you're not a fan. You're a hater. Well, I'm a hater of a band that's supposed to be about female empowerment and these possessed zombie nuns, and they're being dominated and dictated to by some dude that doesn't make the music. So I want the band I was promised, not the band that I was shown. You know what I'm saying? Converge dropped a new song, announced a new album. Very excited and hyped for this. Again, Lamb of God. I love this photo by Windy Brick Photography from Riot Fest last year. New Lamb of God single and video, Parasocial Christ. This is their second new song in a row. Hopefully going to get an announcement of a new Lamb of God album. You know that they have a whole year of touring coming up. So I would hope a new album is on the horizon. That would be rad. Chloe Miller is here. Salamati R is here. What's up? What's up? What's up? Thanks for being here. Again, feel free to like and subscribe if you're new here. We are trying to grow this brand year over year. We are in year 13. I have been a music journalist for 20. Lamb of God, bro. So fire. We have another photo. It's like actually the stage is on fire. It's pretty fucking rad. All right. Anthrax has announced the completion of mixing of their new long-awaited album, I Roll, I Roll, I Roll. I love Anthrax. They're one of my favorite bands. Look at the hat. They're the back patch on my vest. I'm from the Bronx, New York, where two of the guys are from, Frankie and Charlie. They made a joke about Dave Grohl being their new singer. Let's not keep making singer jokes in 2025 when you already fucked it up with John Bush and Joey is back by the grace of Satan. Let's not fucking offend the guy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited for new Anthrax. And I really want a headline tour. I know they're doing the maiden dates, but I really need an Anthrax headline tour. Please and thanks. New Rob Zombie song is out now. People were gag and aghast in our comments on social media about how bad the song is or how much Rob Zombie sucks. Bring back White Zombie, which he will never do under any circumstance. He can already do the White Zombie material by himself. He doesn't want to work with anyone else. What's your opinion of the new White Zombie, or are you not excited for new Rob Zombie? He does do very consistent albums. They're not very memorable, but he's great live. And, if you wait around long enough, you will hear Supercharger Heaven and Thunderkiss 65 and More Human Than Human. So, Again, Mark, rest in power. I would love some more Mark Lanegan love in the world. I think I will eventually do it on the record with Mark Lanegan's music with Don Delamont of Talking the Talk with Don. Anna Hernandez is here. Hillary Fikes has passed by. What up, what up? What else? What else? Liquid Death. We always are repping Liquid Death. I hate to be a shill, but they just came out with energy drinks in these fun flavors. Maybe we'll try some on cameras. No, I know, Gabe, you love Rob, but have you heard the new music and did you have an opinion on it? He doesn't have to try that hard to make the music he's happy making. Maybe he's happy making that stuff. I don't know. I don't know if you've been following the Nick Menza channel on YouTube, but Nick has been uploading fun videos. Dave Ellefson has been working with Nick's family to get that documentary out. And, he uploaded a really cool, he got the stems from the original Wake Up Dead tracking on bass, and Nick had done a drum cover with the bass, and obviously Nick is gone a long time, passed away many years ago, but I'm really excited about this. I hope this is the year where we get this documentary finally, because I need it badly. All righty. Homie has got a Crave case from White Castle. I'm jealous. Monolord, one of the best doom metal bands in the world, have completed the recording of their next album, and I expect an announcement about this hopefully in the first quarter of 26. You're going to start hearing about new albums. Speaking of new music, Tool, a new interview with Justin Chancellor today has confirmed that Tool has been writing off and on for years for the next Tool release to follow Fear Inoculum, which is now 6 years old. 6.5 years old almost. But Tool has been very busy, keeping touring a lot more than they used to before the pandemic. So Tool, A Perfect Circle on tour next year, Pussifer on tour with a new album next year. So hopefully some Tool, again, shorter than longer wait to get new Tool music. I know I'm waiting anxiously for it. Kirk Hammett's guitar that he played back at the beginning with Metallica just sold for a humongous amount of money for charity. There's a lot of charity auctions have been going on right now. I know they sold John Bonham's clothing from the Song Remains the Same movie at auction for like $100,000 or something, his velvet suit and white frilly shirt. I love when Stuff gets sold for charity. I'm into charity. Giving Tuesday coming up this Tuesday. Okay. I tried this last week and it did not work. I'm going to try it again. We're going to talk about the new music coming out. This is kind of one of the last big weeks. We're going to do 2 more weeks in December of new music releases, and then we're going to take a break until January, maybe even mid-January, which is what we did last year. But here's the new stuff coming out, and I'm going to just play a little bit of some of it. I've been trying every week to try to get this, and let's see if I can get it to go. Hold on a second. And I don't have it ready because I'm pulling out my other device. Let's play some Blood Aus Nord, Ethereal Horizons on Debemer Morty Records. This is probably some black metal. I'm a fan of this band. Did you here's their new album. Streaming on YouTube right now. Let's hear some of it. Skip. 1 second. Here we go. Let's hear a little bit of this while I look up the new music coming out this week. All right. If you guys can hear it out there, let me know, because I have no idea. 13 albums coming out this week. Band, album title, label, and maybe some genre stuff, okay? Maynard and his Kung Fu Discipline. I love that comment so much. 1349, Winter Mass, Season of Mist Records. 5 Rand, Ordalia, Art Gates record. Oh, sorry. Lost my place. I zigged when I should have zagged. Hold on. What happened? Here we go. Abdagata. Let's see. I don't know why this thing keeps shitting the bed. Here we go. Again, Blood Aus Nord, Ethereal Horizons on Debemer Morty Records. Oh. Oh, I like this. I think you would like this, Gabe. Killer. That was killer. It's about as much as I can play without getting demonetized. Bellicus got a new single dropping Friday. DM me, buddy. Pre-save or anything. Carnal Savagery, Crypt of Decay on Moribund Records for some death metal. Dark Clon, Mind Reaper on No Remorse Records for some more death metal. Dead and Dripping on Nefarious Scintillations on Transcendent Obscurity Records. I always talk about that label. Delacoma, Searching for You in the Darkness on X Music Records. Doom Here, Plague Lords on Scataboo Records, like Cam Scataboo on the Giants. Doubt Sower, The Past Melts Away with a Sneer on Unbidden Audio. Dream Theater's live album, Quarantime Live à Paris on Inside Out Music. My French is terrible. I apologize to all French people everywhere. Dissidia, Deeper Wells of Meaning, Wild Thing Records. Equilibrium, Equinox on Nuclear Blast Records. Ergot, Decade on ATMF Records. Exide, Bastard Hymns on Sharp Tone Records. Feather Mountain, A Liminal Step, self-released. Thesis, Subcutaneous Tomb on Darkness Shall Rise Records. Grim Colossus, Unhallowed Blasphemies EP, self-released. Mad Max, Heavy Metal re-release on RPM Roar. Magnetic Morning AM re-release on Outer Battery Records. Male Gaze, Too Late Now EP, been hearing a lot about this band. Master's Hammer, reunited black metal. Maldoror Disco on Darkness Shall Rise Records. Nick DeVirgilio, Rewiring Genesis, a tribute to The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway re-release. Nick is a former frequent collaborator of Mike Portnoy. Old Dead Tree, London Sessions EP on Season of Mist. The Ominous Circle, Cloven Tongues of Fire. Pabst, I don't know how they're not getting sued. Pabst, This Is Normal Now on Alcopop Records for some death metal. Pale Horse Ritual, Diabolic Formation on Blackthorn Records. Struck a Nerve, self-titled on Listenable Records. Summoning Hellgate, Spear of Conquest EP. Thy Disease United, We Fall on Creative Music. Tickles, Sugar and Plastic Plates on Stolen Body Records. Triskelion, Maelstrom of Chaos on Moribund Records. Various artists two of these, The Downward Spiral Redux and The Best of Nine Inch Nail Redux. These are cover albums by Magnetic Eye Records. I'm stoked for this, and I'm getting those. Vast Pyre, Too Bleak on Octopus Rising Records, and Willow Dusk, The Long Lasting Dusk on Diatonia Records. The full list is on our site. The full list is on our YouTube. Go check it out right now. That's all the new music. I am running late for my other podcast, but I am going to do a very quick run on the mailbag. Thanks for everybody so far who's watched. We're almost at the end of the show. Too quiet, but it's working. All right. We'll figure it out one of these days. Full Metal Jackie passed by one of my heroes. Really quick for the mailbag. One of my peers, if you've ever seen some of my roundtable videos on YouTube or podcast, Mark's Metal Minute on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. He actually wrote a book on productivity for your professional and personal life called Mosh Pit Productivity. Rage against the clock and win your day. Mark is wonderful. He's out of Atlanta. He loves metal. And, oh, thanks, Don. I'll be joining you in about 10 minutes. Sorry, buddy. So, Mark wrote this book. I'm going to do an interview with him about it. Don did an interview with Mark about this book. Don can comment how much he likes the book. It's pretty, it's a short kind of thing. I love business books, like 80 pages, 81 pages. So I'm really excited about this. And we're going to do a giveaway. We're already doing a giveaway for these God Forbid tickets. Thank you for sharing, Don. We're giving away these God Forbid tickets. But we're also going to do a giveaway where I give away a ton of music-related books. Don says it's an amazing book. Look at that confidence. I like it. So I highly recommend this. It's like $8-9 on Amazon. Support a small business guy, support a small creator. He's writing a follow-up book for next year, but this is his new book. He actually uses this stuff in his work life and his personal life. And now that I know that I officially have ADHD confirmed, I need help dramatically with this. So stay tuned. We've got a lot more stuff coming up in December. Giveaways, more videos, unboxings, reviews, live streams, all the things, podcasts. Thanks, everybody, for being here. It's a holiday weekend. You're never alone. If you're sad and depressed and alone and lonely, DM us. I'll be there for you. I promise. It's going to get better. If you got to deal with family and then go listen to some metal. It'll make you feel better. If you're going to buy some stuff on Black Friday, treat yourself also. Be kind to yourself. Please do not drink and drive. That shit sucks. Don't kill someone or yourself. And I'm outie. Thanks for being here. Everybody have a great and safe holiday if you're celebrating. I will be back next week. There will be more Ghost Cult stuff, social media, website posts, social media posts, the whole shebang all weekend long. But thanks for being here. I'm Keith, your Ghost Cult. I'm going to dance a jig on the way out like I always do. Thanks for being here. I get out of this, Junior, I'm going to dance a jig.